So you're using Wix and you built a custom form with radio buttons, but you want to give people the option to select other and input their own answer instead of one of the predetermined options in the radio buttons. Welcome back to the Wix Wiz. I'm Eitan. Today we're going to be exploring that topic, and it's going to be a really easy low-code tutorial, mostly using data sets, just a few lines of code that you need in order to make this work. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that you can subscribe to the channel and get a little notification every week that a new video has come out, and who knows, that next video might be the video that takes your business one step forward. So don't miss out, hit subscribe, and let's get started. Today's tutorial was inspired by a question during our recent live stream. And while I did give a preliminary answer there, I want to take this opportunity to explain it to people who weren't at the live stream and also give a more encompassing answer than what we managed to talk about there. To do that, I've set up this demo here on a Wix Studio site. Even though it's Wix Studio, everything I'm showing you here can be done in Wix Classic as well. And what I've done is I've set up a custom form. So I've just dragged in some input elements and arrange them over here. And these are already connected via a data set to the student registration collection, which I set up in the CMS. So basically, it is just a basic form which is supposed to collect student registration information. And the highlight today here is this radio buttons input right over here. So radio buttons are typically for collecting information that has to be one of a few specific options, so kind of like a drop-down. But sometimes we do want to allow the user to specify that their answer doesn't fall into one of the prescribed categories. For example, gender is a very common case of that. So while we might have male and female, we might want to give other people an option to express themselves in a different way and specify another gender. There are many other scenarios where this could be useful as well. So what we want to do today is to create a user interface where if somebody selects the other option, they will be given an input where they can write whatever they want, and that will be stored to the collection instead of one of the standard answers. So let's explore and see how we're going to handle that. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add in another input that will go under our radio buttons input, and that's going to be the other input. So I'm going to go ahead over here to our Add Elements panel, and I'm going to go ahead and look for inputs, and we're just going to add in one of these standard text inputs right over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag that, and I'm going to place it here inside of my stack right under the radio buttons. Okay, we can make the distance a little smaller. And I'm also going to go ahead and I'm just going to get rid of the title here because I don't think it's necessary in our scenario. And I'm going to get rid of the placeholder. So it's just going to be empty. Just like that. Let's make it a little thinner. And there we go. So this is going to be our input, which is an alternative to these radio buttons. But if we were to publish our site as is, then this text input would always be showing. And we really only want it to show when somebody selects other. So in order to facilitate that, we're going to need to turn on code mode. We're not writing any code just yet, don't worry. But there are certain capabilities which will be unleashed once we turn on code mode. So if you're in Wix Studio like me, you'll just go over here to the side, squiggly brackets, and then hit start coding. If you happen to be in Wix Classic, then you'll find dev mode on the upper left over here somewhere. And once we've turned that on, so you'll see now that if I select this text input and I open up the code panel over here, so I have the option to make it collapsed by default. Okay, and what that means is that if I deselect it now, you can see there are kind of lines crisscrossing it out, and that means that will not show on our site unless we expand it. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like. So I'm just going to go here into preview mode for a second. And you can see here that in preview mode, we don't see that input at all at the moment. So that's what we want. Now what we want to do is we want to conditionally show this text input when other is selected over here. So now we're going to need to write a little bit of code, so bear with me. And what we're going to do here is, first of all, we're going to make sure that our radio group has a ID that we can easily identify in our code. So I'm going to call this our gender radio group. Okay. And in addition to that, we're going to want to do the same thing for our input over here. So we're going to go ahead and call this our other input, just like that. You can call it whatever you want. That's things that I think I'll be able to recognize easily in the code. And now here inside of our onReady function, I'm just going to get rid of all this commented out code that we don't need. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start to write some conditions based on when the radio buttons are changed. So we're going to select our radio buttons with $W. So we're going to say gender radio group dot on change. So when the values change, that means somebody makes a selection inside of the radio buttons. And then here inside of these parentheses over here, we're going to say event. Event is the thing that happened, so the change. And if we select event dot target, that's essentially the radio group. And then if we say dot value, that's the value of the radio group after it has been changed. So in our case, we're going to want to evaluate and see, is the value of the radio group now other? And then if it is, then we're going to do something. So we're going to add an if statement right over here, open parentheses, and we'll say that if event.target.value equals to other, then what we're going to do is we're going to expand our other input, dot expand. And if it's not equal to other, so else, then what we're going to do is we're going to collapse our other input. So select the other input, dot collapse, just like that. Okay, so let's see what this looks like now. So I'm going to go over here to our preview mode. And you'll see here that initially our other input is not showing. And if I select male, nothing happens. Female, nothing happens. If I select other, then the other input appears. And if I select female again, then it disappears. Okay, so we've facilitated the behavior of our input. And now comes the important part where we need to decide how the data gets passed between the different inputs of our form to the actual data collection when somebody submits it. Back here in edit mode, so we'll see here that I've already connected the other inputs to the CMS. So you can see here, for example, values connected to email address. So those are all connected already. Next, what we'll need to do, we're going to focus on our radio buttons and the functionality we want to add for it. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect it to the CMS. So first of all, we need to select collect content because we're using it to collect content from the user like a form. And we're going to connect it to our student registration dataset. And specifically, we're going to connect the value to the gender. Okay, just like that. And what we're going to do here now for this text input is we're going to do the same exact thing. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the CMS. And I'm going to connect it to the gender as well. So essentially, we have two inputs that are both connected to gender. And let's see now how this behaves. So I'm going to go ahead and go into preview mode. And I'm going to try filling out the form. So let's do firsttest@gmail.com. And I'll select a birth date. And let's initially select, for example, just female. And I'm going to go ahead and click submit. So the content has been submitted. And let's go back to our collection and see what that looks like. So this should be just a standard submission where we see female. So here we go. We can see the the submission. And there are some things missing because I didn't add inputs for everything. I got kind of lazy there. But you can see here that this is definitely the first test because it has that email and the gender is female. So that is pretty standard, but it shows us that the radio buttons are still working even though we've also connected another input to the same field. So that's what I wanted to verify. Next, what we're going to do is see if our other selection option works. So here we are again. So this will be secondtest@gmail.com. And I'm going to select another birth date. And this time I'm going to select other. And you'll notice here that when I select other, so it populates this input with the word other to begin with, because essentially they're both connected to the same value. So the value was set here to be other. And now what we're going to do here is we're going to change it from other to something else that we want it to be. So here we can say, for example, hard to explain, or whatever that person might want to write. And then we can go over here and click submit. And now if we go back to edit site, and we can go over here to student registration, then you can see here that the gender was set to hard to explain. Okay, just like that. So let's run a third test. And in this test, what we're going to do is we're going to try to switch back and forth. So I'm going to go over here, and this is going to be our third test at gmail.com. And this is going to be the birth date, and let's select other. And I'm just going to write here example. And then I'm going to go and switch back to male, let's say. Okay, and now we want to test and make sure that it submits as male and we don't get the value of what's in other. So I'm going to go ahead and click submit and go back to edit site, head back to our collection. And you can see here that now we are at male. So based on these three tests, I'm going to deduce that this is working very well. And this might very well be the point that a lot of you will stop and say, okay, this is working awesome. We're good. The last thing that I'm going to try and address is the fact that it displays the word other once you click the other option in the radio buttons and the input displays. So let's see if we can get it to display without the word other to begin with. In order to not display the word other in our other input when other is selected in the radio group, we're essentially going to have to clear out the value that is associated with that field. So intuitively, what we might try and do is to clear out the other input itself. But after some testing, that actually is not the appropriate solution, but rather we have to go with the rather unintuitive option of actually clearing the value of the radio buttons. And once we clear that, then our other input will be cleared as well. So where are we going to do this? Let's go and pop over here into our code. So right over here, this is where we handle the scenario of when other is selected. And what we're going to do is that in addition to expanding our other input, we're also going to set the value of the radio group to null. So let me go ahead and select our radio group. Dot value equals to null. And now what we can do over here is go into preview mode. And let's play around with a little bit. So select male, that works. And now if we go ahead and select other, then you'll see here that it is empty. One little caveat here is that you'll notice that there's nothing selected here from the radio group. So it's not like other is selected and then we have kind of something else here. But if you had a sharp eye before, then you probably noticed that that happened once we changed the value of the input anyways. So in terms of no-code solution or low-code solutions that we're doing now, I don't think that there is a way that we can both have the other button here selected and have something else here in our input that is not one of the options from the radio group. If you wanted to use code for your entire form submission and use, Wix data queries and stuff like that, then you would have a lot more control. But as far as low-code solutions go, I think this is where we're going to be hitting a limit. Let's just double check and make sure that everything is still working. So this is going to be our fourth test at gmail.com. Select a birth date. And we selected other already. And here we're going to put in a different input. So I'll just say here, rather not say, not day, rather not say. And I'm going to go ahead here and hit submit. Content has been submitted. Let's go ahead to edit site and check out our data collection. And you can see here that it says rather not say. I'm not going to run all the other tests again. You can do that at home and let me know in the comments how it goes. You can also let me know if you implement something like this on your site or if you have any questions about this tutorial or how to do similar things. With that, we're going to wrap up. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see new cool tutorials like this every week, the next one might be the one that just transforms your entire Wix site and teaches you how to do something that really takes your business one step forward. So head over, subscribe to the channel. Worst case, you get like a little ping from me every week that I made a new video, and I will see you next time.